Ben, welcome. Welcome to the Fireside Chat. Now, before we delve into this, because I've got loads of questions that I want to ask you, but I've got a confession to make.
Is it a good one?
The confession is I've just put my notes on my keyboard and I couldn't see it. No, the confession is this. We've been speaking for a period of time now, and this is a conversation that I'm deeply uncomfortable with, which is why we're having it. And it's why I'm hopefully streaming this on Facebook. And it's also why we're recording this, because actually you taught me a big lesson when we first started talking, and it's all about perception. But before we dive into that, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask everybody. If people are watching this on Facebook, if they're watching it on YouTube, if they're listening to this on my podcast, if it's live, wherever people might be tuning into this conversation, why is this conversation important and why should people stay?
That's a really good question. And yeah, just real talk. I mean, I don't know. I've been in the health and fitness industry a long time. I enjoy helping people, and I think networking and collaboration, it's nice to be nice in a world that we live in today. I think it's just, if people are open-minded, what people want to, I'm coming from a perspective that, a wise man once told me, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And unfortunately, not a lot of people like they definitely don't love, they don't even like what they do in their work. So stick around, hopefully you'll get some value and some understanding of who I am, what we're doing here. And yeah, proximity is power, I say.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight myself, so I'll come in because I forgot to do that.
That just only put me all on the big screen then. I just
Yeah, I did. I put you on the
yourself.
big screen. That's what it's all about. Okay, so this is my personal insight from my perspective as a service industry, as a service business. So we're in completely different sectors, but we are both serving people in health and wellness. Mine is the mind, yours is the body. We would probably say that both of those cross over at the same time as well. But the biggest thing that I think you'll agree with is that when it comes to service-based businesses, two things tend to happen. One is either burnout, you're continually going and going and going and going. And I know you've just come off holiday and you've been working all day today, so you're probably a bit burnt out. But it's also the other thing that I learn, and you speak to any millionaire, any billionaire, I've done that. And if you only have one business, you don't have a business. Simple as that. I mean, I think they say you need 7 sources of income. And in a world today where the rug can be pulled at any time, COVID, we've seen that with COVID. We're seeing it now in the way in which in the UK, certainly, how, if you had properties, how the government is trying to screw you
Screw
for
you
all
over.
of the money. Yeah, yeah. And so actually having a portfolio of businesses that are flexible is really, really important. But the biggest challenge that I had was about how do I align that with what I do? And I think the conversation that we're going to have today is all about the perception of sales. And you've already touched on this, is that there's a lot of opportunities out there, but unfortunately, the way they are marketed, the way they are sold to people, is that they're sold as being this amazing big thing. But business is hard. You've got to put the bloody effort in to do it. There is no easy ride if you're running a legitimate business. So, my first question really is, given everything that I've just said, on the journey from you starting Exceed, doing your PT and doing all of that, share with people what your journey was to get to the place of that realization. I just literally want to pull and extract for everybody that don't do this because, do this because. So what are the lessons that you've learned before we dive into talking about what we're really going to talk about today?
Yeah. Wow, yeah, it's
I know
been
there's a
an
lot
amazing. Been a, like I try and extract it, and for, what I meant to say as well is why you should be listening to me is well, less than 24 hours ago, I was in Gran Canaria. I've been traveling, I've slept, I've worked all day, so maybe listening to what I'm about to share might be of insight. But 22 years I got involved in the industry. Prior to that, I used to work on international cruise ships, had a great time. But I had a real passion for helping people then and actually getting fit in the gym. And I just knew that, getting having a job that you love doing was something I really wanted to pursue. And yeah, like I said, I've been doing it for such a long time. Started as a fitness instructor, knew very early on that I wanted to become a PT. I wanted more. I wanted to earn more. I knew that my value, I had to learn more. I had to educate myself more to become who I wanted to be. But along that journey, I watched Marcus. You see it, Becky. You're in the industry. I watched a lot of people come and go. I watched a lot of really good quality, yeah, enthusiastic, highly qualified people come and go, and you have to stand out. And that's what I saw. And I stumbled across um, the digital marketing, network marketing industry about 20 years ago. My first exposure was a business where, I thought I can use products and suddenly someone said to me, Marcus, you're doing that thing. What do you mean I'm doing that thing? Network marketing, the pyramid selling and it's like, what am I? What's that? And they're like, that thing where, they're trying to like give you this diagram and description of what it is and all the rest of it. And I kind of just got stuck in and I actually thought I'm using a product that I've used myself, hand on my heart. I've enjoyed the process. I help people lose weight. I help people get healthier. We live in a world today where, being nice, I said at the start of the conversation, be nice to be nice. I'm not here to try and sell anything to anybody. I wasn't trying to make a quick buck. I was being a solution maker. We get problems, Marcus, right? We have to be offer a solution, and the person that solves the most solutions wins. And it's the same within the online space. The person that speaks to the most people wins. And unfortunately, if you think about going back a few years from you go to school, you go to, and I say this to the people all the time, you go to school, college, and university, you only ever got taught to look for a job. You didn't get taught to build businesses, invest in property, and you got taught to work for 40 years. Don't look left, don't look right. And even some of my friends today, suddenly say to me, that thing you do, Ben, does it work? And you're like, well, I do, like you said before, 5 to 7 different things to generate income. You have to, and you have to do it today more so than ever, right? Because of the cost of living, because everything's gone up, and you've got to be doing things differently. You've got to think outside of the box. I'm nothing special. I'm just a guy that's 48 years old. I've got a great lovely family. I like to uh, do nice things, and that's kind of the journey where I'm at today. I'm just very grateful. I'm at a great stage in my life where I'm really excited. I wake up every day with vigor. I wake up every day with drive. I wake up every day about who can I help? How can I help them? And yeah, as I said, I just feel so at the start of this journey, that I'm on right now, even though I've been around for a long time, I still think I've still got so much to give, and I'm excited about the growth and the way the world is. You can either look at it, you can't keep taking from an empty cup. I know you mentioned that before, and you've got to have a positive mindset in life, because life is tough as it is, let alone people, the naysayers, the people that are trying to strip you back, the people that are the not so nice people out there. There's plenty of good people out there, and my job, what I enjoy doing, is thriving, helping one person at a time get better results with their health and well-being, but also from a financial perspective. Some of the stuff that I do in the online space it excites me.
Yeah. I'm gonna delve into that, but I think there's just a couple of things that I really want to spotlight myself. There's a couple of things I want to bring in here because I think these are really key and really important. One of the things that within my industry, hypnotherapy, transformation coaching, life coaching, all the rest of it, is actually when we look at these places that are selling high value courses or you're investing more and more time in more and more information, they are a pyramid type scheme. They are a multi-level marketing scheme. They are marketing, but when we look at multi-level marketing, and I prefer affiliate marketing, but when we look at multi-level marketing and a pyramid scheme,
Mm.
I can define it, but I'd love your definition because those two have been merged and they are very different models, and it's not the
Mm.
model that's the problem. It is normally the people that are running those models that are the
Yeah.
problem. And it's like that's like any industry. So how would you define the difference? I mean,
Well,
I'm happy to go into that, but
yeah, the clear definition of what is a pyramid scheme, what isn't a pyramid scheme, what is a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is something that has no products, it has no service attached to it. And pyramid schemes have been highly, highly illegal for many, 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 many years. And the industry that I'm part of, the network marketing industry, it's so heavily vetted that anything deemed even remotely clean, anything that's not, hitting all the boxes and all the rest of it is quickly identified, and it's there and then it's gone very quickly.
yeah.
There's no product and there's no service.
Yeah. And so I think when we look at this, if we look at one of the products that I personally use, which I know is part of what we would call a network marketing MLM, is Tropic.
Hmm.
But I love your version of this when and I just wanted you to speak about this because you talk about kind of Netflix and subscriptions
Mm.
and all of that sort of thing. And it's interesting that when we're looking at products,
Mm.
we know that if you go on Amazon, you go on Amazon now, it says save 10% for multi-buy. It's part of our ecosystem,
Mm.
but actually when you're buying from Amazon, Amazon are winning.
Mm.
And this is, I think this is the thing that you have to think about is that when you get into that industry as part of a passive income supporting your clients, which we'll go on to the products in a minute, but actually there's a great story, and I'm going to say Morgan Stanley. I know that's two different people, but there's a story back in the 50s of a grandmother who said, he'd go to McDonald's and buy a burger and fries, and she said, instead of instead of buying the fries, invest the dollar or 25 cents, whatever it is, into McDonald's.
Mm.
So that every time you buy a burger, that 25 cents gets amplified.
Mm.
And so that's stocks and shares and bonds, right? Which again is another great place of long-term passive income. But actually, this is very similar, isn't it, in regards to if you are going to start to look at products that support your industry, and I think that's important when we look at network marketing, when we look at products, is what enhances my client experience. You already said it. Would I use it? Do I use it? Have I vetted it? But then the business brain goes, well, if I'm buying it anyway, can I share that with other people? How can I help other people see the value of that product, but also make a little bit of money? But it's not about the money. So I want to try and look at this from a non-financial perspective because you don't make a lot of money from network marketing until you start to scale, but that's not where you should lead from. And I think that's where one of the
Mm.
biggest problems is that when people think of MLM, it's all about hard sales. And I'd love you to share your approach to this because the way in
Mm.
which you approach this is perfect as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I've been involved in a few different businesses, and look, the whole um understanding of MLM, or what I thought MLM was, look, you join a business, like any business, it's gonna cost you some money. It's an investment, it's a business. And people, it's a bit, just touching on that, it's quite ironic when people think about joining MLM, a business, and they're like, what, you want me to invest £200? Five, well, it's a business. You're getting stock. You're getting a business that you can run straight away and become profitable within. 1 hour, 1 minute if you wanted to. Depends. And the clue's in the title, network marketing. People do network marketing and they've just got this poor mindset. But the old MLM was this, you join the business, it's going to cost you two, four, £5,000, dollars. You're going to get a lot of stock, which you're going to either use yourself or you're going to start trying to sell to people. And the industry, look, network marketing has made more multi millionaires than probably any other industry in the world. And the startling stat is that over 90% of people don't actively make any money in MLM. They're like
Mm.
consumers, they're
Yeah,
product users.
yeah,
So if you do the maths on that, you think, well, there's the 1% club, and then there's the other 7, 8, 9% in between there that do make money. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people do join the industry, and they take advice from people down the pub, or they just get they've just got self-limiting beliefs and they just don't do it. A lot of people, I think, really, if you're going to do something like network marketing, you want to be a product user and use a product. Buy from your own shop. You spoke about it
yeah,
before with like McDonald's, right? People are heavily investing in buying things from the supermarket or Holland and Barrett, skincare products and whatever, and then, if you had the opportunity to create your business, and I think that stems back from what I said before, Marcus, the fact that you go to school, you go to college, you don't get taught to build businesses, you get taught to get a job, work for 40 years and retire on what's left. I think the industry, what I just want to quickly touch on, and then we can just kind of exchange a few ideas. What I got introduced to 2 years ago is the subscriptions economy, which when I looked at this, the instant thought was pyramid selling, because that you didn't have to invest a lot of money to get started. You don't have to buy products or sell products. We're sharing a subscription, a membership model. And if you only have to look in the world and look in your bank account, Marcus, Becky, and other people that are watching this, go and look at your bank account and work out how many subscriptions, Netflix, Amazon, Google, various different clothing,
Zoom. They're on
Zoom,
Zoom.
Zoom, you pay 5.99, you pay 9.95, 12.95. They do not pay you. This thing that I've been doing for the last 2 years and built up a very lucrative business is part of what we call the subscriptions economy. But it's what the genius thing that they've done is they've led with like Amazon started with books with our friend Mr. Bezos, and it was kind of laughed upon. And would that ever be successful? That's what this company have done. They've led with health and wellness, certified, organic health and well-being products, all for a membership club that costs less than a cup of coffee a month.
Yeah,
And when I saw that, Marcus, it just ticked so many boxes because I didn't have to go and invest £200, £500. I didn't have to go and pester loads of my friends and my family to go and join my business, go and join the product, buy these products. I had really fun conversations with real people that I knew that might like to get healthy, but also at the same time might like to build a business. And that's the exciting thing. 2.5 million members in less than 3 years uh, using the products, and they don't have to sell their soul to try and do it. It's a very exciting concept, and that's kind of the journey where I'm at right now.
and one of the things that I want to, so I've done some affiliate marketing before, and I'm very, I've never done it. My affiliate marketing is basically based on this. I want to use the products myself anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to choose. I will, this because when you introduced me to this one, it's like I'm going to go away and test bench all of this and look at it, and it is great stuff. I'm going to say that now. It is great stuff. So much so that the other products that we won't mention, I'm going to ditch. So the issue, though, a lot of the time is with these is you get brought on, but there's no support.
Hmm.
And I just want to talk about this aspect of it because for me, you are such a giving person. You said before coming on here, you were on in the community. I wasn't on that call, but you want people to win. And this for me is the key. You want people to win. I'm the same. I want people to win. And I think one of the biggest problems when you come into this particular side of the industry, but any industry, the reason why I do what I do as a supervisor and a mentor myself is because you can do all the training, you can get all the processes, but running a business and being in a community, like you say, of where people are supporting you, they're actually one of the questions I want to ask is there's before we go into the products, you've got that product, but what are the things that have happened of not just going into that industry, but also building the community? Because this is the thing, you've got a really, really strong community where you're supporting people. So
Mm.
within your own business, what are some of the side effects that have come off of that that have enhanced kind of your life?
Yeah.
Whether that be collaborations, whether that be, what are the kind of things that have come from it besides just supporting people and understanding the business?
Yeah, I mean, just watching people fail. I mean, accountability is huge, isn't it? You become the average of the five people you spend most time with. So from my Exceed coaching business, I've always thrived on growing a community and building value and helping people just do the simple things. Sometimes you know it as well as I do that people get started and they think because they can't run a marathon that they're not ever going to be able to, be able to do what they want to do. But it's still like the simple steps. And I think, a community is the fundamental kind of key to growth and effort and small daily wins. What to happens when habits, people
Yeah,
get disillusioned because they do something for a day or 6 days or 10 days and then they stop. It's not ingrained in that habit. So I mean, we created something within a previous business, which was an amazing. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not anything that people don't know. I mean, how do you feel when you do something consecutively, Marcus, for 20 days, 30 days?
yeah,
It becomes ingrained in you. So we created a formula called H3, which stands for health, happiness, and habits. It was a formula that you did 7 things every day. You woke up in the morning, you drank some water,
yeah,
you went outside, you got some natural light, you got some form of movement. And people were messaging me after 7 days, 10 days, going, Ben, like Jesus, no, not quite. But you're a genius because you've created a fundamental thing which created a habit. And that stems from accountability and growth and just, I mean, the thing that I just stands out is that watching people win. And I just watched a lot. The downside of watching people is that they weren't winning. They weren't part of a good community, you
yeah.
know. And I just wanted to have something different, and that's from my perspective, from my coaching, but also from my sort of online affiliate marketing, is actually teaching people that a sequence of doing small things daily compound and amount to bigger things in the bigger picture is that my parents brought me up to be nice and it's nice to be nice to people and I've just all I'm trying to do honestly sounds shit, is pay that forward.
Yeah, and have you found from those, if we look at that, the Live Good model, we'll dig into Live Good in a minute, but the have you found, and I can actually say this from just little conversations, you're not aware of this, but I I over the past 24 hours gone through some stuff, but those little wins that you talk about is like, what's the one thing I can do from this MLM model? One of the biggest things that people in businesses struggle with is sales. And one of the things that I guess MLM does support you with, and if you've got the accountability and the stuff that you're doing, is not you're not selling that product. Like that's not your business.
No.
But actually, some of those insights and some of the experience that you bring into your community, some of the insights that you bring from your experience, closing that gap, has your community, Freedom Collective, and all the rest of it, have people seen the them be able to bring those things into actually their main business? They've gained insights from how to do the MLM stuff and bring value because you're all about value, bringing that value, but also using that in a way that they can now bring even more value that they maybe hadn't done before. Is that something that a lot of your people in your community learn from being part of this community and part of this opportunity as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I think, like you said, I've just myself, just being on calls, I'm not surrounded, I'm not with just people from England or the UK. I'm surrounded by international people. And I do believe that, my upbringing of being on working on cruise ships in my early 20s for 5 years. I worked with lots of different cultures, religions, and I really feel that that sort of fundamentally aligned with who I am today, what I learned and have taken on board into the community. I'm working with people in about 30 different countries. Obviously, a lot of the people I work with are not all English speaking people as well.
Mm.
So there's a definitely a challenge there with translation and transition of language, and especially the English language, where you've got about 35 different words that could mean something different. It's a funny old thing, isn't it?
So let's delve into Live Good, which is the
Sure,
product. Now, I want to talk about a bit about this from my own perspective,
sure.
my own learning. So this is really speaking to my audience,
Mm,
um, in particularly, from a health perspective. Now, and I'm sure you'll get this. You started off as a PT. You were doing all the PT stuff, which is more the physical stuff. I do the mind stuff. But actually, what we do know as a fact, and this isn't anything that's not unknown, is that the supplement market for a start,
mm.
there is so much crap out of there and so much real bad
Just while I've got
marketing.
something on my mind, I just want to get
Well,
this off because I think this is really, really important. What I didn't really touch on about is within the traditional MLM, generally products are being created or they're being made for $10,
mhm,
give or take $8, $12, $15, so as an example. And that's all the products out there, all the products out there. And a lot of these products are being sold for 50, 80, 100, $120. And that's the key thing, which, not everyone has got that kind of disposable income. And that model, as I said, I've watched come and go. Now, there are a few businesses that are still thriving, but again, a lot of business in the industry have didn't evolve. They have been exterminated. They have gone. What Live Good essentially have done is they're creating products for $8, $10, etc., but they're selling them to our customers for $15, $20. So there's a small markup on the products, and that's the fundamental thing which really flipped the switch for me, Marcus, in regards to understanding this business model. It's a profit share margin on the memberships that you're being paid from.
yeah,
You're being paid on the products. That's the fundamental. Sorry
yeah.
to cut in, but I wanted to
No,
get.
but I think this is important because actually this is one of the biggest challenges. Because one of the reasons why I've kind of I flipped over to Live Good, but I had to do my research is because one of the companies that I'd used before, brilliant products. You've used them before as well. You've
Yeah.
been there, and actually some of their products are, better than the Live Good products. I'm going to say that, but that better is significantly more expensive. And when you look at the price of the Live Good products, they actually sit on the market,
Mm,
actually probably slightly cheaper, but rather than same time, of really good products that you're going to buy, not from your Holland and Barrett. They're properly decent stuff. Now I've done my research on the products,
mm,
and they have a general pretty good wide range of products that are good. And what I was going to get in here is that one of the biggest challenges that people have when they think about that MLM, it's just like Avon, right? Avon was probably one of the biggest MLM type things that's ever gone. Tropic is another one for beauty. Um, but the challenge is around knowing that, is that product good? So what I've done personally, or what I'm trying to do to get people interested in this, is I've got a supplement AI. But what I do like about Live Good is the health questionnaire. And I'll put the link actually into this video about the health questionnaire, because
yeah.
what I like about it is that open transparency that says, just go and do this health questionnaire. It's completely free. Go
Mm,
and do this health questionnaire. Tell us what's going on, and we can tailor the products that are going to support you. So the good thing about the Live Good thing is is that whatever is coming up for you, it will help you tailor the products that you need. And that's something very different because most of it is here's a catalog
Mm.
and you go, oh, what am I supposed to do? And so using that is really, so tell me a little bit about that process of why Live Good have done that, the benefits of the health questionnaire, actually the benefits of why somebody should go and fill that in to see
Mm.
actually where they are just for themselves personally.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. But firstly, I mean, I'd like to just say that, one of the big things for me as well, especially from my health and well-being background, was that they have a certificate of analysis of every single product, transparency, what's in there, clinical dosage, where a lot of companies don't, don't. And I've been involved with I mean, I've been involved with three different companies over 17 years, and I was very, very comfortable and confident being able to share those products because, firstly, I used them and I could feel comfortable being able to sell them. But essentially, it was a price perspective that I feel is the stumbling block, and the industry has changed a lot, not just in the last few years, obviously the last 15, 17, 20 years it's changed. But the certificate of analysis, Marcus, as we mentioned there, that's very much ingrained within the health questionnaire because we want to educate people. We don't want to give them a catalogue. We don't want to just give people, oh, here you go, you've used things like Avon or Amway or, people are going into Holland and Barrett. I have customers and friends message me all the time going, Ben, I've just used my phone, but I've just been into Holland and Barrett. I've bought these multivitamins, are they any good? And I'm like, well, what's in them? And they take a screenshot of it, and I'm like, some of the ingredients I can't even read because it's the idea really is that you're from what I'm doing or what we're doing with Live Good as well is like teaching people that not all products are equal. You know, um, the certificate of analysis is a big thing. I talk about it. I'm going to be talking a lot about it. I've just come back from a holiday. A big thing that I really want to get across to people now is I do not want to try and convince people. And I say that in every conversation. I'm not trying to get you to buy this product, Marcus. I'm sharing the insight to, the way the world is today, and the health questionnaire is kind of the door opener. It just educates people as to you'll get a detailed, and it's personalized, by the way. We don't get a copy of it. It goes to the customer, Marcus. They get a personalized health report from one of our doctors, um, based on the results of how they've questioned it. And they will get information as to regards to if something is flagged up that they don't sleep very well, they're overweight, they've got poor energy, then they will get some information as to guide them as to some recommendations.
Yeah, I'd like to share something on here, and I can't really care for the health question, but it might have been just because I've got my own analysis that I do as well, because I'm a geek like that to try and help
Mm,
people. But this is a perfect example when we look at health buying products and buying without knowledge, which is what you give, what Live Good are giving. You're purchasing based on knowledge and what you need. Now it's not, you should always go to a health professional nutritionist, especially if you're on medication, they're supplements, it's not taking over. But I got a classic insight from my son, who, I'm trying to get onto Live Good, is that he's quite a slim lad, 17, started going to the gym, starting to do that exercise stuff. And I go into the in the utility, and there's a bag of bulking whey protein. And I went, yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Looked on the back of it and went, that's going in the bin. And I said to him, I said, how come you got that? Oh, I want to get bigger, Dad. And I went, okay, I just want to just check something. So I went and checked something. And I said, at 17, your metabolism is still building. All of the stuff that's in there is going to destroy your body. And what you actually need is to be able to support your body to be able to build muscle, to let your lymphatic drainage and all the rest of it. So I did the Live Good stuff for him. And although they do whey protein and all the rest of it, they came out with the basics, which was the greens, the reds, your multivitamins,
Mm,
getting that basis. And what people watch the TV, a lot of the marketing that you see on TV, Boots, Holland and Barrett, they don't care about your health. They
nope.
care about their profit shares and their margins. And yes, their products are safe, but safe is a bunch of people agreed that whatever's in it is safe. And what I do like is that with Live Good's products is they've hit that really good sweet spot between a really good product that works, and I'm not BSing on that because I'm testing them and tried them myself.
Mm,
Um, but doing it at a price point which you can afford. So there is a benefit to that. And so especially if you're a business owner, especially in our industry, where especially if people are suffering with anxiety or it's weight loss and you're doing that sort of stuff, supporting the body to allow the body to heal, to allow the body to look after itself is really important. But if you found a product, I mean, anybody watching this, if you found a product or you found a service that's brilliant, have you gone and told your friends and family about it? Oh, went to this shop, bought these, it was brilliant, customer service was fantastic, did this. Yeah, you probably would. What did you get out of it?
mm.
And this is what I love about the Live Good thing is that if you're going to share something that's really, really good, something that works, what if you did that, helped your clients, helped yourself, helped your family, and it paid you back? It,
Exactly. I mean, we touched on this at the start, didn't we? In
yeah,
terms of memberships that you have going out of your bank account every single month that don't pay you. Live Good the um is a Netflix business model. Amazon, you know, they've got a massive share of the market, and they profit share their membership revenue. They've led with health and wellness. They've got an abundance of other great services and other products that they're launching with kids health, pet food, lots of stuff within skincare. We're tapping into multi-million-dollar industries with a company that's a few years old. Do not get me wrong, this company has been well vetted, it's been well looked at. And, companies are constantly looking. And surprise, surprise here, I've seen at least half a dozen companies within the last 2 years. Guess what they've done, Marcus? They've built a membership model, a subscription
yeah,
model within their network marketing businesses.
yeah, because we know from a business perspective, keeping people in the business makes sense. And you mentioned it before about habits to train a habit. Once you start using a product and it's part of your and educating people, that's the hardest part, the educating people. But once people start to see it works, they tend to just that money just comes out. And if it's bringing value and so I'll just move on to this question, which is if I am a business owner or I'm listening to this, watching this, and I'm thinking this sounds interesting, not too sure. Is it
Mhm.
dodgy? Is it a pyramid? Because we all do it, right? What would you say the ROI is from an investment perspective? Like, what are the levels of ROI that if somebody was to find out about Live Good, have a conversation with me, have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
want to find out more about how they can build that into their business model, how it would work? What is the ROI beyond just money?
Right. I mean, an investment in terms of a business today, and I say this all the time, a business that costs $50, £37, I think more people spend that kind of money and more every single week on a takeaway. For a return on investment, it's a business that, I love their mantra, get healthy, stay healthy, and do it in an affordable way.
Yeah.
Even anybody that's watching this that's from a perspective of being a bit skeptical and all of that stuff is reach out to you, use the greens, go and use the giving greens for 30 days. All of our products are 30 days. Go and use the products. I just want to touch on this quickly because we haven't really spoken about this. 2 years ago when this company formed, a lot of people joined. Now they joined for the wrong reasons, or they got told the kind of the wrong stuff. Join the business, earn $2,000
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of a
Yeah.
full matrix and all of that nonsense. This is a business right now that even just by using the products yourself, talking to a few people, it's a very, very easy business to make a return on your investment. I've got people that can join the business and within 1 hour, within a day, they've shared a couple of their memberships to people. They're going to earn remember, you earn 50% for every member. For every member that joins your business, it's $10 a month. $10. You're going to get 50% of that. And also for every affiliate, you earn a 50% kickback for every person that signs up, which is $40. You're going to earn 50% of that. So in terms of a return, get healthy, stay healthy, and do it in an affordable way. It's probably the simplest thing I've ever done.
Mm. And I think that more and more people are looking for health. More and more people are looking for what is the right healthy product. And as you say, people can go and research the company, they can look at their profits, they can look at all of that sort of stuff. They can look at the efficacy around it, go and do your due diligence. And I'd always say do that. But to me, it comes down to if health is important to you, which it should be, because that's all we have at the end of the day is health,
Mhm.
right? Then this is something that is worth looking at because you're not just, even if you just look at it from your personal perspective, you're not just buying decent products that are going to support your health. That coming back to the health questionnaire, that's why I think that's such a great thing because it's giving you an informed choice of what you should be looking for.
Mm.
You can share that with other people, and we see so many of our friends and family who go through, health crisis or they go through problems and stuff like that. So if you can share that with them and say, listen, you're going to Holland and Barrett, you're buying all this crap,
Mm.
you know, listen, have a look at this, see how it goes. And if
I've had
that's
so many clients buy stuff from Holland and Barrett, and then within a week or so, they've come back and they've said to me, "Oh, well," or even 30 days, they've tried this product, and I'm like, "Do you know what's even in that?" Or, "Oh, no, I such and such told me about it. Some
yeah.
influencer shared it on their social media." So yeah, look, it's the two biggest thing that people want today is better health and better wealth, better finances and better health. We wait for a problem, Marcus.
Mm,
I'm a big, big, big fan of preventative healthcare. People care about their health when it's too late. And the crazy thing is they wait for a problem. Once they're in a stage where they are sick, then they will spend whatever or however to get the solution and to get fixed.
yeah. So I think the message that I'm getting from this is if health is important to you, maybe you're already using supplements, but wealth is important to you. And we're not saying you're not going to be a millionaire. You're not going to make lots of quick money here. This is why this is an ethical business as far as I'm concerned. And they are upfront about that. It's like anything else. The more work you put into something,
Mm,
the better it is. For me personally, the products on their own, just the products on their own, is enough to invest in that product, as far as I'm concerned. Everything else is therefore a bonus. If people are interested in this link in the show notes on YouTube, on the podcast, I'm going to put the health questionnaire in, which, like you say, is independent. It goes off to some people. They will come back and you can go and do it. So that's free. You can just go and do that. So I want to encourage people that regardless of what you think of this, go and have a nosy. Go and
mm,
have a look at what does the health questionnaire come up with?
mm,
What are the things that you might not be aware of? And then you've got informed choice. You can go to Holland and Barrett and buy whatever you want, or you can have a look at Live Good. We're both here to help people support that choice,
mm,
to support where they go to. And if you just happen to be a business owner, this could be another way in which you could raise value for your clients, for your customers, for your family, for your kids. And that's service, right? Business is about serving people and helping people have a better life. And I think that's why it's called Live Good, right? Because it's
mm.
not it's
Good
not this,
life.
yeah,
Live
it's
good,
not this
good
it's
life.
not this thing about loads of profit and taking people from it and that is the pyramid scheme stuff. This is if you're
Mm,
going to invest in yourself, invest in something that's going to pay you
mm.
back. before we close this, because I know you're probably really tired because you've been on holiday, you come home. But I
It's all
always
good.
ask this as a last question because I think it's an important one. You said you've been in this industry for a long time. You've worked in the fitness industry for a long time. You serve people at a very high level, and I'm going to say thank you for that. The amount of times that you're dropping in my DMs and going, "Everything okay? Is there anything I can do?" Like that's quite rare. So, but what's the one question that nobody ever asks you, whether it be about you, whether it be about this product, that you never get the opportunity to answer? It can be anything.
So say that again, sorry.
So, what's the one question that
Yeah.
nobody ever asks you, about Live Good? What's the one thing that you would like to tell people that you never get the opportunity to tell them?
God, I don't know. People do ask me everything. Just
So,
trying to
so
think.
what's the thing? What's the one question? All right, what's the one biggest objection then? And what's the biggest insight that you've had where you've been able to turn around somebody's opinion around an objection?
Oh, well, I mean, I get it all the time. You know that thing you do, Ben, the pyramid selling, or I've turned, I've got some amazing people in my business today that thought the whole industry was a joke until they really had an understanding. They had a huge objection. They had a huge like understanding of network marketing. When I explained to them that they work in a bank and the CEO is the top of that food chain, and then there's a manager and Liam, there are the cashier. No disrespect to a cashier at the bottom of that food chain. It's a pyramid scheme, and
Yes.
you, it's it's a sad state. Sometimes you can't educate
It's
the
a pyramid scheme.
uneducated.
I think this is really, really useful as a final. Everything is a pyramid scheme.
Everything in life, and
Is a
people right
yeah.
now with network marketing, they all say, even like someone that it's a pyramid, and I'm like, but it's a life is a pyramid. And then I explained to her, and she's like, oh, I get it. I see how it works now. So
But
people.
the difference between that pyramid and the pyramid that you talk about is that you can stay at the bottom, but you also get the choice to move upwards based on
Yeah.
your terms, not
the,
based on somebody else's.
just to finishing with this, what we're doing is helping other people raise up where traditional corporate business, aka pyramid, the CEO, the manager, they're pushing people down because they don't want that next person to be taking their paycheck or their promotion.
Yeah.
And that's the harsh reality. What we are doing is we're raising other people. I give because I'm happy to help you do better than myself. And in traditional life and business, that would just not happen.
Do you know what? I think we'll end this on something that I think we can both agree on, but it's a phrase and it's something that a mindset shift that actually the CEO of Mind Valley, Vishen Lakhani, said to me when I had a conversation with him a few years ago around this kind of I'm going to use sales or just bringing value to people, and it's this: the world at the moment is in a really tricky place. There's lots of bad people making lots of money and they are extracting lots of energy from people, whether that be your big corporates, whether that be your Holland and Barrett supplement company. You know, we're advertising Holland and Barrett a lot here. They've got some good products, I'm sure. But my point is this: good people with money, with health, can change the world.
100%.
And really the essence of this conversation is that if you're a good person who wants a better world, wants better health, and wants to help other people achieve that, then this is an opportunity that's worth at least having a conversation about.
Definitely.
And so what we'll do is this is going to go on YouTube. It's going to go on my podcast. It'll go into various different groups. I want to encourage people to reach out, find out more, have a conversation. There's never any pressure because I'll be honest, I don't want to speak to people that aren't willing to put any effort into anything anyway. But my point is that you never know from a conversation what might build. It could be your next collaboration, it could be your next best business partner, it could be your next relationship. But building connection is something that we want to have more and more in a world that's becoming more and more disconnected. This is an opportunity to create connection, create a little bit of money on the side, get healthier, and be part of something that's bigger than yourself, which is, I think, what a lot of people are after
It's what
nowadays.
we all want. It's what we all thrive is connection and collaboration and ways to grow and build and be better.
Yeah,
And yeah, they're just in closing myself as well. Thank you for inviting us, Marcus. Obviously, great to be here finally. And look, honestly, closed minds cost people fortunes every single day. You're on this planet once and once only.
yeah,
Live life, enjoy it, have a smile on your face, take risks. You know, we're not asking you to go and jump out of an aeroplane with no parachute. That's a risk that probably we don't recommend you do. But this for me, and you know, I'm gonna say it's the best thing since sliced bread, but it is a phenomenal opportunity for ordinary people to do extraordinary stuff.
absolutely. Yeah. And with that, we'll leave it. So thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Amazing to speak to you. And as I say, if anybody, oh, before we go, how can people get hold of you? Social media, all that sort of stuff. How can they find you?
Yeah, so just Exceed Health and Fitness Coaching, Ben Jackson, Exceed Personal Training. I can share a few of my links and handles.
Yeah, so
I'm on
we'll put all
Facebook,
of your links
Insta.
in the show notes. We'll put the health questionnaire in there as well. And so if
Yeah,
anybody wants to
but
find out anything more, they can get in touch with us.
But the
Awesome.
main thing really, Marcus, is that fill in your health questionnaire, and then Marcus will get an understanding of that you filled something in. You'll get an understanding of your results. You might be really happy with your results. You probably won't be, and you'll be in a position where you'll be saying, "Hey, Marcus, you know, it starts with that." And if you think
Yeah.
from a business perspective, there's a massive opportunity here as well.
And that's one of the reasons why we got talking anyway from that collaboration perspective, because you're doing the body, I'm doing the mind. And so if it is weight loss, if it is that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
those go together. There's lots of other things. So it's about building that community. You've got access to so many different people that can help people above and beyond that product. I have that as well. So
Mm,
you're coming into a community of people who want to help people and elevate people and make the world a better place. And we just happen to be doing that through this particular product. So
yeah.
but thank you
Amazing.
very much. You
Thanks.
can go and have a sleep now. And yeah, so we'll see everybody next time on the Fireside Chats. And so yeah, speak to you
Take
very.
care. Thank you.
Bye.